you very much, Mr. Chairman. I think I may be the only one on the panel that was here when we approved the space station. And I think I was sitting way over there at that time. And I listened to all the arguments, and this was not a certainty that the space station would be approved. Because I remember that we were also trying to balance the budget at the time, and we had to take some budget considerations and put them into the debate. Can you tell us? Can anyone on the panel tell us how much has already been spent now on space station from the time we voted to move forward with the project?
As I said in my opening remarks, the number we have is $67 billion, and that includes the shuttle transportation costs, is our current estimate.
$57 billion.
Yes, 67.
Oh, 67. All right. Sorry, I came in about 50 minutes late here for the hearing today. Okay, and how much, if we maintain the space station, we decide to keep it in service, how much more will we be spending? Does anyone know that?
Yeah, we're spending about $3 billion per year on space station. That's made up of about $1.7 billion of transportation costs. Those are the 13% of the global launch market, 700 to 800 million for research, and then roughly about $1 billion for just operation cost of station. That's U.S. costs. The international partners are also contributing to that overall.
I was going to ask how much do our partners contribute?
They're probably contributing the other three, probably roughly about $1 billion per year.
All of them together?
All of them together.
Okay. And how many partners do we have?
We have the Canadians, Japanese, and Russians, and Europeans.
Okay. Now, when we were being, and by the way, I voted for it. It won by one vote, and it was my vote, and I had, just so you'll know. There is one element here that people don't realize. I'm not sure if the scientific research that has been done on the International Space Station has justified the expense of the $67 billion that we're talking about. And I'm not sure that's the case. But we have had, there are other factors rather than just scientific research that come into play. And space station certainly renewed our national self-assuredness that we could do great things. And that has been, I think it's hard to just put a price tag on that. And when people are demoralized and they don't think they can do great things, they don't do great things. And that costs a certain amount of money. Let me also note the space station played and continues to play an important role in creating an image of peaceful cooperation between the two countries that were willing to destroy each other and destroy the planet for the 40 years prior to building the space station, namely the Soviet Union, which now has devolved away and is now Russia. But the example of Russian-American cooperation in space, there had been an attempt at it earlier on at a much smaller level, Skylab. But I think that Mr. Chairman, that we have to make sure that we understand that, especially in Russia, but in the United States as well, we have examples of now, even at this time, when tensions are very on the upswing now between Russia and the United States, that we have an example of cooperation of what we can do technologically rather than just building better technology of how to destroy one another. And so I would think that even though the promises, and I will add, there were many promises that cancer would be cured. I mean, I sat and listened to them. While I never did buy that, I hoped it would be true, but I never really counted on that. But I do think that we can say that when we write our history of what was accomplished in the last century, space station will be up there on the list of great accomplishments and of things that showed there is a better way for mankind. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.